take a look at this. This is a live look happening right now out of Ventura County, California, where the mountain fire there has now grown to more than 14,000 acres. And you're taking a live look at some of the flames shooting up. And in fact, you can actually see an individual kind of walking along that path. Very dangerous, as you can see, just massive amounts of smoke. This has been making the air quality in this area incredibly dangerous. But we wanted to share this with you. This is a live look from a helicopter. And this view really shows you how expansive this fire is. The helicopter now zooming into some of these flames right here as well. And so I did want to share that with you. Meanwhile, I did want to share that it has triggered more than 10,000 mandatory evacuations in the area, destroying dozens of homes in that area and also threatening 3,500 structures. So I wanted to share that with you right there as we continue to follow this live look right here in Ventura County, California. And we continue to take a look at this right here. I am going to continue to share more information with you as we follow this look. Again, the mountain fire has scorched about 14,500 acres. As of last check, 0% contained. And that really is the biggest issues for fire officials. 2 people suffered apparent smoke inhalation. They were taken to hospitals on Wednesday. No firefighters, though, reported significant injuries in that. And because of weather conditions in this area, that has been a big challenge for fire officials. Happening right now, actually, fire officials are giving an update. So what we're going to do is we do want to share that with you without as much commercial interruption as possible. So we're going to step away for a 2-minute break here on Live Now from Fox, heading back live to Ventura County, California, as fire officials are giving an update on the mountain fire. We'll be right back. Fire officials are giving an update on this fire. I do want to head over there now so we can listen in.
Are they going to speak?
They're all going to come in. They're just going to come in. So we have the electeds want to be here, so it's a little off balance. I understand that.
Let's move on.
I know. Your feng shui is off. I understand. Dowd, are we recording? No? Okay.
30 seconds. Press conference.
Phones are silent. Phones are silent. Good morning. My name is Andy Van Sciver. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Ventura County Fire Department. We're here with a press briefing with regards to the mountain incident. I'm going to start out with some numbers. As of 7 o'clock this morning, the Century aircraft had flown the fire and measured it at 14,500 acres. This is a challenging fire, and it's wind-driven fire, and so we are still at 0 containment as we're still focusing on life safety and structure defense. I also want to touch a little bit upon the number of homes that are destroyed and damaged. We are currently in the process of deploying 10 damage assessment teams that are going to go through every street and every property and do an analysis on every outbuilding and every home and give us a report back on that. That is going to take some time. We want to do it right the first time and make notifications to the property owners that their property has been damaged or destroyed. So please hang with us as we are challenged with the time it takes to go door to door with 10 teams. We're going to do it as quickly and efficiently as possible. With that, we're going to go through an operational briefing. We're then going to get a weather update. We're then going to listen to some information on fire behavior. We'll talk to the sheriff, and then with our IC, and then finishing up with our fire chief, and then we'll open up to questions. And with that, we'll go with operations.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Trevor Johnson, captain with the Ventura County Fire Department and one of the operations section chiefs here on the mountain incident. As you all are well aware, at 9 o'clock approximately yesterday morning, resources responded to a wildland fire that is now the mountain incident that was north of Highway 118. due to the Santa Ana wind event impacting Southern California currently. The fire grew rapidly to that number that our PIO just spoke about, over 14,000 acres now on the landscape. Firefighters, again, were initially engaged in structure defense, life safety operations, and performing nothing short of heroic actions across the incident. Fire continued to progress to the southwest throughout yesterday and into last night. Again, we had resources engaged throughout the evening. Last night, we had water dropping helicopters over the fire the entire evening, which is irregular for any type of wildland incident, but we were able to capture that. Resources are actively engaged around the incident at this current time. Due to the influx of resources into the incident, we built a more robust incident management structure out there operationally. Resources are engaged, engines, crews, dozers. We currently have aerial supervision over the fire using rotor wing and assessing for fixed wing operations to slow the spread of the fire. Crews are reevaluating and going back through areas where the fire's already passed and making sure that we've done a good assessment and we're checking on everybody, and we're going to have an active presence in there for days to come. Our priority right now on the fire is the northeast corner of the fire. Due to the alignment with slope, topography, and other factors that influence fire behavior, fires continuing to back to the east or progress along the Highway 118 corridor back towards the city of Moorpark, again north of Highway 118. Fixed wing resources, adequate overhead, hot shot crews, hand crews, bulldozers, everything's currently engaged in there. We got more resources incoming, so we'll look to institute them into our plan. Again, we got the right people in the right places. We believe we've ordered appropriately and are managing every aspect of this incident operationally, coordinating with all of our stakeholders due to the damages to structures, residences, infrastructure, power, electrical, you name it. Firefighters are dealing it with out there on the ground. With that, that concludes the operational update. Thank you.
Good morning. Rich Thompson, meteorologist with the National Weather Service office out of Los Angeles, Oxnard. Weather-wise, when this fire broke out yesterday morning, the area was under what was called a particularly dangerous situation red flag warning, or a PDS red flag warning, which for us in the National Weather Service means a very extreme red flag condition with really, really strong winds, very low RH, and very critical fuels. So when this fire broke out, we were under a PDS red flag warning. Now, by this morning, those conditions have moderated a little bit, so now we just have a normal red flag warning in effect for the area, and that red flag warning is in effect for the fire until 6 o'clock this evening. That means we expect Santa Ana winds gusting from the northeast at about 25 to 35 miles per hour through the afternoon hours, along with humidity down to around 10 to 15%. Fortunately, by mid-late afternoon, we expect those Santa Ana winds to diminish in strength and actually maybe get a weak westerly wind moving across parts of the fire. So therefore, by 6 o'clock this evening, we expect those red flag conditions to end across the area. Hence, the red flag warning will be expiring at 6 o'clock this evening for this area of Ventura County. Then going into tonight and tomorrow, we expect tonight and tomorrow morning just a very, very light northeasterly wind across the fire with a kind of a weak westerly wind tomorrow afternoon, but the conditions staying still very dry. Humidity is generally probably 10 to 15, 20% range. But again, the red flag warning will be in effect for this area until 6 o'clock this evening. Then those Santa Ana winds will diminish in strength, and we'll just kind of have a typical weak offshore winds at night, weak sea breezes in the afternoon for the weekend.
Good morning, Drew Smith, Los Angeles County Fire Department, Fire Behavior Analyst. And I just wanted to compliment what Operations Section Chief has talked about, and also our incident meteorologist, on the why behind fire behavior and the environmental recipe that it's taken to cause this fire. So as we know that we're coming off of 2 years of above average rainfall, which gives us a very robust grass component, and with those fine fuels that are receptive to warm, dry, windy, supports the right recipe to promote large fire growth when we have high winds. So as the Weather Service with Rich talked about, our red flag. Red flags mean that we have that warm, dry, windy, and we have a receptive fuel bed with spotting that gives us that exponential fire growth. So when we have those environmental recipe, if you will, to promote this, it's because of the receptive fuel bed, the ember cast that can transfer those embers up to 3 miles and give us that large fire growth. complementing operations and what does it mean on the landscape is when you have high winds, it challenges our tactical opportunities to engage in fire. So when we have live fuel moistures through seasonal drying that are at 60%, which is critical, we have residency time of those fuels as they burn to get in that convective wind column, transport those embers downrange, makes it very challenging for our firefighters to combat these fires. These fires, when we're on our high-risk days with sand and winds, are different from when we have our fires during the summer that are not in a wind-dominated fire environment. So that's what gives us this fire during the fall when we have red flags. Very challenging times for your firefighters for the life safety, the structure defense mission, and containing those fires across topography. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Sheriff Jim Fryhoff. Thank you for being here today. First, I want to take a moment to share our thoughts and prayers for all of those in our community who have been impacted by these devastating fires, particularly those who have lost their homes. We know this is a painful time, and our hearts go out to each and every one of you. The fire danger remains extremely high. I want to remind everyone that we have several new evacuation zones that occurred overnight, specifically in the Santa Paula area. I strongly encourage you all to refer to vcemergency.com for all the latest evacuation zones and road closures. In addition, you can call our incident information hotline at 805-465-6650 to speak with someone. This number is also on vcemergency.com. As of today, we've made over 14,000 notifications to residents in the evacuation zones. We don't have an exact number of those that have been evacuated. We've received many questions about repopulation. We will repopulate as soon as possible. We have not begun that process yet. This is still a very active fire and very unpredictable, and we have a lot of resources out there working this fire, and we want to make sure they are safe as well as they're moving between the city on our main roads. For those who need shelter for large animals, the fairgrounds here are open for large animal shelters, and the Camarillo Animal Shelter by the airport is available for small animals. As our fire partners had mentioned, we're expecting high winds again next week. So it's critical that we all stay prepared for more fire weather. Once again, VC Emergency is your go-to resource to find out the information on closures or additional details related to the fire weather. Lastly, I want to say thank you. This is our community, our home. All the first responders who are working here live here and are responsible for this community as well. We want to assure everyone's safety. So please stay out of the area if you do not need to be here. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for their cooperation. We're in this together, and we'll get through this together. Thank you.